episode 158.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us from the great state of Missouri, Kathleen Palmer. Kathleen, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Ali?
Thanks, Ron, for asking. I am doing marvelous. Great to have you with us, Kathleen. It's word on the street you know how to speak proper English, so it's awesome.
Good.
Yeah. So Kathleen is an entrepreneurial spirit, selling on eBay since 2003, and what started as a hobby to supplement her husband Gary's income has become a full-time business selling vintage jewelry. She is a new empty nester and hopes to take advantage of her extra time by taking her business higher.
Nice. Wow. Again, just another one. It starts from a hobby, ends up being into an empire. It's awesome. So let's talk. Let's get back to the beginning. So you wanted to help your husband with an income.
Yeah. I always wanted to be able to contribute, but Gary and I had decided before we had children that we wanted me to be able to work part-time so that we could spend, as much time with the kids as possible. So I just needed a little bit to supplement just to contribute, pay for, some niceties.
Nice.
Well, cool. So when you started selling in 2003, did you start selling from around the house or how did that go?
Well, actually, we had moved back from London. My husband and I had lived there for about 3 years. And
Nice.
Before that, I'd worked in the investment banking department of one of the big banks there. But after 9/11, my job dried up and we moved back to St. Louis. And when I came here, I couldn't find a job in my field at all. I was offered a job for $10 an hour, and my daycare was $8 an hour. And I thought, well, this is silly to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, for $2 an hour.
Exactly, and just keep the economic wheels rolling. It just didn't seem right. So my sister and I went to a garage sale, and she just kind of said, hey, I'll bet you can make some money off of the things in this sale. I didn't even know what eBay was. And she pointed to a couple of Disney collectible plates. They were 3 for $10. I picked them up. I learned really quickly how to sell on eBay and sold them each for $50 a piece. And I thought, okay, this is going to be my life.
This is
exactly.
The bug is here.
Yeah, this will be my life.
What a good addiction to have. If you have to have an addiction, right?
Absolutely. I love it.
So we're
awesome.
looking at your store here, and you've got some nice stuff. I mean, you're not going for the socks. You're going for the upper stuff. I mean, this is amazing. So, is this handmade? Are you sourcing and buying this? What's with your products? How are you sort of getting them and stuff without giving people the secrets?
I find almost everything that I sell at estate sales, just locally. I'll travel a little bit. My daughter lives in Denver, and as we go to visit her, I will shop along the way and shop in Denver. But most of my inventory comes from estate sales just around here in St. Louis.
Very
nice.
Cool. Maybe I'll see you at some of those. The funny thing about that is Kathleen and I just figured it out that we're about probably 25 minutes from each other, which is really kind of cool because we actually interview people from all over the world, and then we found out that we're about 25 minutes apart. So that's really cool. To know that other people are selling in this area. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
So
a lot of them. I run into people all the time at estate sales, antique malls, and one of our first questions is, hey, do you sell on eBay? And then we communicate that way.
So you're completely jewelry, are you? You don't do any clothes, or you 100% jewelry?
I would say 99%. Every once in a while I'll find something quality and I know what it is, and I'll think, well, it's just silly to leave money on the table.
You're actually perfect, because we had Jessica from Leeds, I think it was, who emailed us saying that she sells similar stuff to you, but she never knows how to whether to send it first class mail in England, which I think is like VIP mail in America or something. But how do you work out what to ship your products? Do you ship it really UPS, or do you ship it normal post? I mean, do you add more price because maybe it's made of gold, stuff like that?
The only real thing that I do with something very valuable is I make sure that it has signature confirmation. But unless somebody asks, I'm going to send it first class, which is just the economy shipping. It's not ground shipping, but I give free shipping. And so there's really no reason to charge myself more to send it priority. Right. But I do want to protect myself for very valuable items in case it does get lost. Items almost never do, but it's just a chance that I don't want to take.
Definitely.
Wow. So how do you know how to appraise this stuff? Are you like a gemologist or something?
Oh, I wish. No.
I'm looking at these rings. I'm looking at these rings, 14 karat yellow gold, 0.12 karat diamond solitaire. And I'm like, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a clue how to price that. How do you do that?
Well, I have really good friends in the jewelry business, and they kind of showed me how to measure a diamond and convert it to the carat weight. I don't usually say anything about the cut or the clarity unless it's an antique, because the cuts are so obvious. Yep. But the 4 C's of diamond grading, I don't claim to know that. Basically, what I tell people is they're really sparkly.
Yeah, that's fair.
They look
good. Awesome. You need to know more than that. Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, if I was selling top quality diamonds and taking the time to have them appraised, my prices would be significantly higher.
Sure. Absolutely. I think I'm impressed with the fact that, first of all, you had friends that know how to do this stuff. In fact, you took that time to learn how to do that. So that's really cool.
Well, knowledge is power in jewelry.
Definitely.
And you don't want to make a mistake. I'd rather be conservative about what I have than make a claim that may not be true.
So the writing descriptions must be really hard. I mean, I'm looking at one now where it's got a blue blob and it's got some metal around it. It's like, how do you work out what to write about that? I mean, do you look at other people's stuff?
Ali, you must be looking at the Estate Southwest Sterling Silver Bright Blue Turquoise ring. It looks to me about a size 5.5, and it's not signed.
Y'all are very observant.
Yes, no.
It's time for a quick break, but the guys will be right back here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Join us for eCom Chicago, our 5th annual 3-day conference on October 18th through the 20th, specializing in e-commerce and business growth. Listen and learn from accomplished speakers in the e-commerce world, including eBay, Etsy, Merch by Amazon, Walmart, Jet, as well as many others. This will be an opportunity you don't want to miss. Network, share tips and tricks, challenges and successes, and learn from expert speakers and sponsors, as well as the numerous attendees from across the U.S. Be sure to check out the special pre-show vendor day on October 18th live, where vendors will be focused on demos on products and services. Find all the info at ecomchicago.com. Use coupon code podcast to receive $20 off your registration. Visit ecomchicago.com. Sponsorship opportunities available. A repetitive question among eBay sellers is, how can I sell more? Another one is, what solutions should I use to grow my business? Today, we have an answer to both. 3D Sellers. It is a first-of-a-kind platform that combines all vital solutions for eBay sellers under one dashboard. 3D Sellers has powerful tools for you to increase sales. 3D Sellers will boost your feedback score with a smart feedback reminder. 3D Sellers will give your listings a professional look and bring repeat business with professional cross-selling emails, and it is easy to use. There are other tools too. 3D Seller combines all the tools you need. Just visit 3dsellers.com and start a free plan now. It is already trusted by over 200,000 eBay sellers. And now only So You Want to Sell on eBay listeners get a 20% discount for a pro plan. Just use the code podcast. Visit 3dsellers.com now and get ready to sell more.
Check us out online or on social media. Facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast.
But how do you know what to write about? I mean, how do you get in depth? I mean, your descriptions.
I think mostly because I focus on maybe 4 or 5 niche markets, and I'm very familiar with Native American jewelry. I'm very familiar with what Native American jewelry buyers are looking for. Yep. And it usually has to do with the color of the stone, the type of setting. And so I don't have, I don't have any real secrets to it. It's really just descriptive based on what I know my buyers want.
Wow, that's impressive because like Ali's saying, your descriptions are not plain Jane. They're very, very detailed, and I like the way you, actually describe your items. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
So what about pictures? Whose job is that? Is that you as well, is it?
I'm a one-man show or one-woman show, so the pictures are mine too. Yeah, the pictures are mine too.
Amazing. I mean, they're really good quality. And I bet you keep some, don't you, some of this stuff? I bet you got like your own little box with all your own little secret stash in it.
No, not at all. I don't wear jewelry.
You sell 100% of your stock is sold.
Then you are in the right business, man. That is so awesome, you know, because seriously, you'd eat your profits if you did, right?
Oh, it's so true. If I kept these things for myself, it would never end. Yeah. So I find beautiful things and I get really excited about selling it.
Nice. Very cool. So, you've been doing it since 2003 and you're doing it full time then, right?
I am. Yeah. Full time.
How long have you been doing it full time? Has it been the whole time?
No, not really. I worked a little while for a hospital, and Gary and I discussed it, and I just thought, I hated being away from home all that time. And I thought, let me just work the hospital job and eBay. And if I can recreate my income that I'm making at the hospital on eBay, can I quit my job? And so that was when it turned into a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, and sometimes when people talk about, and I know I've crashed numbers myself, but sometimes when you think about your corporate job and leaving the corporate job and things, sometimes the reality of it is that it really probably wouldn't be that hard to replace. And I'm not saying that from experience because I haven't made that leap yet. I'm still in the corporate world, but I tell you what, I'm getting closer every day, and it just seems like, it probably wouldn't. The more people I interview like you, it probably wouldn't take that much to replace my income, in eBay and some other things.
I think if you have a passion for it, and that I think is the key to success, is if you love what you're doing, it's not a hassle, it's not a burden to do the work. So it was fairly easy for me to replace my income.
Awesome. That's good. And plus you're doing something you really like doing, right?
Oh, absolutely. I get up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, and the first thing I do is check out my eBay page. And I can't wait. I just can't wait to see what happened overnight.
Yeah. And so to that point, I mean, obviously you're probably waking up to at least a few sales overnight even, right?
Yeah. Usually there's a couple. eBay has changed so much and people complain about it, but I think if they hadn't changed at all, we'd be calling it a dinosaur. So I try to keep up with trends in eBay. And right now, I find that the buy it nows are not selling as quickly as my auctions. So I just make sure to auction at least 10 items every week, keeps the interest strong in my site, and keeps my buy it nows in front of people.
So to that point, how would you tell somebody who's just starting out on eBay or thinking about starting an eBay business? You had mentioned that, my buy it nows aren't keeping. How are you keeping track of that? How are you measuring that? I mean, you got thousands of items on there. How are you keeping track that your buy it nows are outdoing your auctions?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not really sure that I'm that organized.
Geez, Ron, that was a tricky question.
That was my killer question. Sorry. I didn't mean to...
Jeez.
No, that's okay.
Leave her alone.
Really. No, for me, it's just, am I paying my bills? Am I making enough profit? And I have to say, I have not really examined it to see where that money is coming from, where those sales are coming from. I just make sure that I'm bringing in enough sales on a weekly, monthly basis to reinvest and pay my bills.
Very, very awesome. I'm sure the people that run the estate sales know you by name in the area, right?
They do. And I had, for the most part, I'm on very good terms with the estate dealers.
That's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And at the end of the day, they know that I'm going to, if they've got good quality items, I'm going to spend money. So, it's in everybody's best interest to just be kind to each other and, be fair.
So, I mean, how do you find the time to do all of this then? You say you're a one-woman show from everything. How do you strategize or strategy your day?
My hardest, and to even call it hardest is makes it sound worse than it is. I actually really love this, but my biggest day is Saturday. Throughout the week, I'm kind of strategizing what estate sales I'm going to go to over the weekend. And Saturdays, I sometimes get up at 4. This last weekend, I was up at 4 so that I could be waiting outside of an estate sale at 5:30. But there are a lot of things that I can do. I can take care of some office business things while I'm waiting for a sale, just on my phone. And, I spend a lot of time watching Law and Order while I'm cropping pictures. So it's not, it's not really tough.
And it doesn't sound hard, no.
No, and I find it very relaxing as well. Just about every aspect of selling on eBay for me is relaxing. So wow. I don't feel stressed out or stretched for time.
So cool. So when you're the first person at the estate sale, does that, because once they open the doors, don't everybody just kind of go in, or are you get first dibs on things?
You do get first dibs because if you are one of the first 5 people, well, actually at most estate sales, the estate dealer gives out numbers. And so for the first person in line, I get number 1 and they won't allow anybody else in front of me.
So you get the whole place to yourself for a little bit?
Yeah,
no.
I'm shopping.
Yeah, because
no, it doesn't work like that. I wish. No, it just means that I have the first opportunity to get to the jewelry table before anybody else.
Must be like a stampede, is it? Like,
it is. Sometimes it is a stampede, and occasionally, very occasionally, there will be folks sort of elbowing each other out of the way.
Oh, this is amazing!
It's a
Get off! It's my jewelry. No, it's mine.
Yeah, were you there?
Yeah, that was me elbowing. Get off it. It's my ring. That's amazing. So you must have so much fun, like you say. So what about holidays? What do you do when you go on holidays and stuff, or vacation?
Well, holidays for me, vacations are always working because it's more fun for me if I do that. Holidays for me means that I don't have to do the housework, but I get to do all the fun stuff with my job.
Wow, man, that's pretty impressive. And it's a shame that we weren't able to get Gary on the call here as well, because as you mentioned before we started recording, is that Gary is from England and Ali's from England, so it would be 2 against 2. We could have had
a tag team. Your turn, Gary.
I wouldn't have had to translate everything from Ali. I mean, Gary could have stepped in and said, what are you trying to say, Ron?
I bet it's spelled Gary as well, isn't it?
It is.
Yes,
it is.
Yes, good. Gary.
And his nickname is Gaza, which I'm sure made.
Yep, exactly. Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Making me all nostalgic here.
Well, very cool. So this is awesome. And I hear people like you say that you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking on purpose, but I can understand why you would when you get first dibs at the jewelry table. I think I'd probably go up to that jewelry table and have like a box underneath it and just slide everything in there and say, I want it all,
I've been tempted, but it really cuts into your margins when you take it all.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, what's the weirdest thing you've ever sold?
Oh gosh, the weirdest thing. I don't know. I try to avoid weird things. I can't think of anything weird.
What about the ugliest ring or the ugliest?
Oh, definitely. When I was first getting into Native American jewelry, I didn't know anything about it, and I had seen this big old hunk of a sterling silver turquoise coral ring, and it was actually super ugly. And I thought, wow, this must be amazing. Wow. And somebody bought it. I paid $1 for it. Somebody paid $50 for it.
That's incredible, man. And all those little things like that aren't little, they keep you inspired, I'm sure, just to keep going and just keep on loving what you're doing.
Definitely. most of the things that I sell, I am in profit. But there are occasional items that I think, holy cow, this is why I get up in the morning.
I bet that's what keeps you coming back all the time. So you just like, this is what you do day in, day out. I mean, does Gary ever help you with anything?
Gary goes with me to estate sales every once in a while.
Okay, does he shopping?
Yeah, but he's not there to find jewelry.
No, he's a bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sounds like it. I'm gonna go to a good old estate sale. I haven't been in a brawl in a while.
Yeah, go to the jewelry table.
Go to the jewelry table. Although I might be fighting Kathleen for it.
Yeah.
No, I know. My motto is there's enough here for everybody. I'm not going to fight anybody for anything, unless, of course, I see a piece of Cartier Tutti Frutti. Then all bets are off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Ali, you probably don't know what a Cartier Tutti whatever that is.
Sweet? Yeah. Sounds like you don't either, Ron.
It's not cereal. It's not cereal.
No, it's not a sweet.
Yeah.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
So, you have an idea, a big idea, and you're ready to jump into the world of e-commerce. Awesome. But where to start? The answer is only a click away. At solutionsforecommerce.com, you'll find available services to help manage, audit, or even build your e-commerce site from the ground up. With over 10 years of experience in developing and managing channels on sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and Etsy, Solutions for E-commerce can help you to grow your small or large business. Take a step back from the technical and do what you do best, and let Solutions for E-commerce handle the tedious stuff like creating, reviewing, adding, or removing listings, setting up or organizing store categories, even merchandising and customer support. Find out why their clients say that their business wouldn't be what it is today without the help from Solutions for E-commerce. Visit solutionsforecommerce.com and take your e-commerce business to the next level. That's solutions, the number 4, ecommerce.com. Use promo code eBay at checkout for an exclusive So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast discount.
Be sure to check out SoYouWannaSellOnEBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So is there is there anything to do with like genuine or anything like that? Is there copyright of this stuff that you're doing? I mean, how do you claim that this is real gold or this is real silver or?
Yeah, that's such a good question because, counterfeits abound in jewelry, particularly in the higher end items. And I have been caught out with counterfeit Tiffany pieces before. I've really studied it to know what the hallmarks ought to look like. As far as gold, because I specialize in Victorian jewelry, a lot of that is not hallmarked. And I know what it looks like underneath 10 times magnification. I have a really good idea, okay, this is solid gold or this is gold filled. And if it's inexpensive enough and I'm kind of doubting or on the fence, I'll just bring it home and test it. And I have a couple of ways of testing it. And, I'm typically, I've got about an 80% success rate as far as like looking at it in my hand, but the tests don't lie. Yep. So I have 2 ways of testing things. I can do it electronically. And if I can do it discreetly enough, I can scratch a little bit off on a touchstone with acid. And those tests are really accurate. But I won't sell something as solid gold unless I know.
You carry that around with you? I mean, you got like a little sort of pouch or something that you test equipment?
No, I always bring it home and test it there.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Yeah, man, that's pretty impressive. I mean, you are the real deal here. I mean, seriously, wow. If it says yellow gold, it's yellow gold, man.
Absolutely. Because it's not, I want eBay to be a safe place for my buyers, and I want it to be a safe place for me to buy myself. Yeah. So. Absolutely. All of us are contributing to, just the honesty of the site overall.
How fun is that to be a part of the community that eBay is today?
Yeah, I really, really love it. It's not just a job. There really is some camaraderie there with the people that I see on the weekends. And, even today, I had somebody send me a very polite email about something that I had done wrong on one of my listings. And it wasn't judgmental. It wasn't anything. It was, hey, you might want to know this. And I was able to go into that listing, change it, and make it accurate. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how cool is that? So are you the kind of eBayer that goes to conferences on a regular basis at all?
I don't know if I'm that eBayer yet or not because I've been so busy with my kids. But now that both of my children are married and out of the house, I very well may do that. I did go to one of the eBay fly-ins in Washington, D.C., and that was phenomenal.
Well, you need to kind of go to Ecom Chicago this year. Then October, it's in October. It's in the Chicago area. It's October 18th through 20th, and you can go to ecomchicago.com to find out more information. But Kathleen, seriously, I'm in St. Louis, and I drive up there. It's really, really an amazing conference.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. And I can give you more details about it, offline. But ecomchicago.com is where you can go to get more information on that. It's an amazing conference.
I'll look it up. I would actually love to go. My daughter's having a baby on October 3rd, and as long as all is good with her, I very well may do that.
Cool. Probably see you there. This is their 5th year doing it, and it's growing every year. They're actually going to have this is the 2nd year they've had eBay there, so they'll have eBay representation as well. So that kind of says something to the way eBay looks at this conference as well. So really good crew.
Okay.
Absolutely. So with watches, I mean, obviously, we know that you are the gold expert, but I see you also sell watches and things. And are you, fairly comfortable pricing those items as well?
Depends on the watch. There are real experts out there with watches, and I'm not one of them. So the watch would have to have some intrinsic value, like be solid gold or sterling silver, for me to even look at it. I don't know anything about movements. I don't know anything about jewels. And I feel at this point in my business, I'm not sure I have enough room in my brain to become an expert on watches.
I am intrigued by this fabulous OOAK antique solid brass pocket Gothic church door sundial watch fob.
Isn't that cool?
I mean,
it's so cool.
You sold it to me as well.
That really caught my eye. I think I got that at an antique store. And I thought, this is the coolest thing. And at first, when I opened it up, I didn't have any idea what it was. And then a friend of mine pulled that stem up and she went, it's a sundial.
It's a sundial. It's really cool. We'll put a link on this if it's still for sale by the time we get it. But we'll put a link on our show notes page for that so that everybody can see it. Or maybe we'll just put some pictures on there. But that's really, really awesome.
I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool.
So is there something in the jewelry world that you wouldn't sell, or is it fair game for all jewelry? Like, would you sell like costume jewelry and stuff?
If I knew what it was and it was genuinely valuable. I've sold a couple of Miriam Haskall pieces and some Weiss Rhinestone pieces, but even with Miriam Haskall, there are plenty of counterfeits, and I just don't feel comfortable enough with my knowledge of costume jewelry to make a business out of it.
Right.
And that's fair, right? I mean, you know enough about what you know about, so why get into something you're not sure about?
Yeah, exactly. And there are plenty of places for me to, get inventory in my niche markets. Yep.
Very cool.
I'm loving this. I just love the way that you're so bubbly about it all. I can vision you there, on your sofa watching your Law and Order, doing your listings and stuff. And I just think that's what makes this world so good. This entrepreneurial world where you just have fun doing it. And if you want to go lie down, you can.
Yeah. Or do a load of laundry.
If you want to spoil your day, you can. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't think my boss would appreciate me watching Law and Order while I'm at work. So
come on, give it a try run. It might help you move on.
Yeah, something maybe.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, this is really cool. Really good time speaking with you today, Kathleen. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome. I've really enjoyed this.
I mean, have you before? Because come on, Ron, you can't end it there. We didn't finish on the last question that I always ask, and that is, where do you envision yourself in the future here, Kathy? I mean, what are you seeing? Are you going to grow this? Are you going to have warehouses and warehouses full of jewelry? I mean,
no, warehouse would just make it too easy for me to lose something.
It would.
But I do, I think Gary and I both envision us traveling around the country and, just getting inventory from all over to see what's available out there, see the country as well. This job is so compact. I can do it from the road. I really could do it from a van. I wouldn't want to, but I could.
or a $400,000 bus.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That's pretty cool. No, that would be cool. And, my wife homeschools. And so one of the things we've talked about doing is if we did an eBay business like this, it's so portable. Laptops, some items, and, maybe your phone is your camera, and then internet connection. There you go.
Well, it's funny that you should say that. I homeschooled as well, and this was the perfect job to do while my kids were at home.
That is so awesome. So awesome.
Yeah.
You actually just said something a minute ago that we forgot to ask you as well. Is you said you wouldn't be able to manage it. You wouldn't be able to find your jewelry and stuff if it was in a warehouse and stuff. So how do you? What is your system for that? For people who are selling this sort of smaller type of item, how do you know where all this stuff is kept in your house and stuff?
I just have like plastic Tupperware containers that, keep all of the rings or all of the stick pins, all of the bracelets. They're all in one spot. And so as soon as I list something, it goes in the right place, because I have in the past sold something that I actually didn't have in my inventory, and I was gutted by that. It really bothered me. I hated sending that email, and they were actually very gracious about it, but I hated sending that email saying, I'm so sorry, I've lost it. So my safety is, as soon as I have listed it, it goes into its proper container.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
That is really cool.
I mean, that's what it needs to be, doesn't it? I imagine the reason, you do that is, like you said, you make that mistake. You have to, because we've had so many people on the show who started off I'll stick it in the corner, and then they can't find it. So,
it's so easy to do, especially since we're at home. Since I'm at home, it's so easy to get distracted with something else when I'm mid-listing.
Yeah,
and
Law and Order.
Yeah. Have you talked to my husband? And it's just a matter of, I've got to be disciplined. I've got to put it away.
Yeah, you've got to. Well, we sadly run out of time. I mean, you're so easy to talk to. It's brilliant. You're just bubbly and you're chatty and you just sell fun stuff and you watch lots of TV. And I mean, it's brilliant. So seriously,
thank you so much.
Spending the time with us, and it's been great today. We've had lots of fun, We'll post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/show notes. But Kathleen, before you leave us, what's the best way people can contact you?
Through eBay. I'm college-therapy-fund, and I answer my emails all day long.
And you answer all wow, that's a disclaimer. All day long. Love it. And that was fund or fun? Fun or?
Fund, F-U-N-D.
Perfect. Okay, well, we'll put all those links on the show notes page. And was there something else you wanted an image of, Ron, or no? Can't remember.
No, I think we're good.
We're good. Okay, well, once again, thanks for joining us, Kathleen. We've had so much fun from everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro Voice Works.